Hey there. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully I successfully accepted the ball from Emily. But welcome to the Builder's Block. Yeah. Hi, Julie. All right, cool. That's a good sign. If you're saying hi to me, then I'm probably showing up on screen. So that's a very good sign. I appreciate it. I did try to have the chat actually in my view this time so I can better interact with all of you. And sorry for last time. I stupidly put it off to the side and I couldn't see everything. But now I can. Now we can talk. But thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging around. I'm sorry if you are watching the climactic end to that intense Fortnite battle. I'm sorry if you wanted to see how it ends. I promise we'll have a follow up. I'll ask on the side what happened. Did they win? Did they ever find anyone to kill? We'll find out. We'll report back. But thank you for bearing with, even though you got to miss that. Hey, all right. I see a queer bot, which I do not recommend that username, but I don't recognize that username. But thank you for being here, and it's an awesome username. And there's Torben. Hey there, awesome. Hey everyone. I see Emily saying it ended. I hope that means the match and not the stream. I'm gonna keep talking. We're gonna assume it was the match. For those of you who maybe are seeing this for one of the first times, or I think it's the fifth time, this is the Builder's Block. It's a new show on the Transverse Network. And the idea is we have several builders all showing off the creative things that they enjoy that's fun and that usually has some degree of creative construction involved as we go out and build all things. Hey, Leilani. Hey. Oh, and Delilah. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Oh, God, now you got murdered. That's rough. I'm sorry for that ending. That's a rough ending. Usually that's my role. I usually get killed off in Fortnite, so I'm sorry someone else has to pick up the ball on that. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. I hope it's worth it. Work has been intense, and I plan to do so much more preparation than I actually did, so hopefully this is not too much of a mess. But here's the idea. So we were these different builders. Each week we all take turns and we showcase what we build, what we like to construct. Hey, Jessica. Thank you. And we get to share with you what we love and enjoy, and hopefully you find that fun or interesting, or we at least get to chat along the way, and we have a good time together. I know one of the things, I got a good recommendation from my friend Ashley, that she said I should probably say why I'm worth listening to on all this Lego stuff. A lot of us love Lego bricks. We all love building with them. I don't know if I've met anyone who actually said they don't like it. So it's something that we kind of all enjoy. And so I claim no special ownership to being a Lego builder. But I have continuously loved it since as far back as I can remember. And I built a few things, and I think some of those things are pretty cool, and other people seem to enjoy them. And so that's why I want to share my building with you. And I thought, hey, Mish, thank you for coming. Thank you for the bits. You're always so awesome with that, and that's always so generous. Thank you for that. I thought one of the cool things I might do, and to help kind of explain why it's worth watching any of the things I build, is showing you some of the things I built in the past. And I thought, maybe on each one of these episodes, I could showcase one of the things I built recently, kind of walk through what it was, how it was, especially if it's something grander than I may be able to build in this show. And kind of maybe show you a little bit what I've done in the past. Hopefully you can get a sense of what's possible, even if we're not always able to build quite as much or go quite as far in one episode of Builder's Block. And so to that end, let's take a look. I will now switch over. I think this was successful. Yes. Sorry, again, this is my second stream, so I'm still figuring out a little bit. And to that end, I know this was kind of an issue last time and we didn't always catch it, but let me know how I sound. If I'm loud enough, or am I too loud, or am I too quiet? I think I have a little bit of music playing in the background. I can barely hear it. Make sure it's enough for you. Let me know. Give me that feedback, and we'll make sure it's all working awesome and great for all of you. And that's great. Thank you, Torben. That's good to hear. Good to get that confirmation. Okay, so this is my site. And please take a look. Enjoy it. It's still a work in progress. I've just launched it a couple weeks ago. Mostly I'm still writing the trans talk section where I go through my own story and I want to write about some other topics that are important to me or important to those I care for. But while that section's still in a work in progress, my Lego creation section does exist. Thank you, Leilani. That's great. Glad it's good. Awesome. Let me know if that changes though. Sometimes songs can be louder or quieter. Okay, I am going to move my mouse. So I'm looking at screen number 4 right here. The thing I'm showing is on screen number 1 right behind me. So we're going to see how successfully I can... Ooh, there's a mouse. Hey, there we go. Okay, so this is, like I said, my website. And you can always come here and get those bits of information about me. And over time, more on the Trans Talk section. But for right now, we're going to dive into the creations section where I talk about some of these Lego things I built in the past. And we can showcase some of those things. I thought one of the things I'll go through, I kind of showed this really quickly last time, but I thought I would like to go into depth with it because it's frankly one of my favorite things I've ever built is this building right here. This blue building is cool too. It's another one on the side here, but I'm going to talk about the white apartment building first. And after we talk about that, then we'll go back and we'll work on the gas station, which is going to be something in a similar vein to what you're about to see here with the building. All right, so we're going into my albums on Flickr, and there it is. The modular Lego loft apartments and shops, because there's a whole bunch of loft apartments in there, 6 apartments and 3 shops in this building. We won't necessarily go forever into it, but I'll at least walk you through some of what's there, so you can see something that is at the same scale as what I'm going to show you here tonight, but definitely a bigger and more involved build that took a lot longer than what we're doing tonight. All right. I click in. Is it going to open? There we go. So this is still one of my very favorite buildings I've ever built. This is I think it's fair to say sort of a styled after a French Beaux Arts style. I'm not going to claim to be incredibly knowledgeable in architecture, but I can still recognize things I like and attempt to imitate them. As with all the things I build, this was not a pre-built set. I love the Lego sets. I have tons of Lego sets. I have a literal closet full of Lego sets. But nowadays, mostly I keep those for parts. So I can build my own things, my own creations. And this is one of the larger ones that I've made that has all of these design elements to it. And so from the outside, I just loved the layers of depth I put onto this building and like the slight in and out steps of it. The dark brown, the white. This was I think one of the buildings I kind of flexed the most to build, and so love it. So let's take a little look inside at it. Well, actually, real quickly, we can also take a peek at the back. So I try to make my buildings be 3D. I never try to neglect the back of them. So this is, or the sides for that matter. This is the back and the side of the building. Go ahead, take a small beer sip here. Thank you for the compliments. This particular building, you can kind of see down here, those 2 little holes down there at the bottom edge. That's part of the what's called sort of the Modular Standard. And that was a series of sets introduced by Lego as official sets. It started with the Cafe Corner set. And they're all built to a common scale, where you have this light gray edge, you have so much dark gray sidewalk, and then so many studs in, 9 studs in, you have this little place where you can insert a Technic pin and buildings can connect to each other. So generally speaking, I had all these buildings designed so that they can clip into other buildings, whether they're my own custom buildings, into buildings created by someone else entirely, or to the official Lego sets. They all fit together because they all follow the same base standard that they can all connect with. And so that's how you can mix and match and have big shows that group them all together. So like I said, I try to put all this attention to the exterior, but another nature of being modular is that the building can come apart. And so it's actually built on 2 base plates, and you can pull the whole building in half. You can separate out like you see right here. And right there you can see where it's separated. I have the mailboxes in one side of the gate, and then on the other side of the gate and the stairs, and the bikes underneath the stairs leading up to the apartments upstairs, as well as a little side door going into the bakery there. And you can see the doors for the elevators and the doors to the apartments that let off onto the little hallways that go up the rest of the side of the building. So this is kind of cool. And it's kind of cool and also its own challenge to be able to build it this way, to make sure that where I have things line up, that they can slide together easily like this. You can see these little Technic pins on the side here that clip into there, so the building holds together relatively well when it's there, so it looks like it's one piece. But it also has to be stable and sturdy, and that's sometimes tough to do, especially when you're trying to have something that can also come apart at the drop of a hat. mostly so it's easier to transport and move around. But it's not only easy to transport, you can also lift off all of the floors so you can get down inside. And we can go right down inside of the first floor, which is the bake shop. Oh, I see a question from Leilani. Was building pre-planned by you? Oh, good question. Very good question. Did I map this out in advance? I probably should. I probably should be using a CAD program. There are a couple specialized CAD programs for Lego building specifically. I've never used them. I'm frankly too impatient and I'm too disorganized to pull it off. I never really know what I'm going to build until I'm already in the process of doing it, which is frankly going to be fascinating how well I can pull that off with this show because I tend to build on the fly. But yeah, so I've never been able to do a CAD program drawing because I'm usually figuring out what I want to do as I'm doing it. It's not usually, so I've never really pre-planned. The extent of the planning that I do is that I might do a sketch or a drawing. I might kind of, have some sort of notion of a general shape to the building or to the archways or the windows I want to see, that kind of thing. And I can show you an example right over here. Oh, I can't show you because I pulled out the pin and the drawing I was going to show just fell behind the bookcase. I'm going to have to get that later tonight. Put the pin back in the wall. Never mind. I could show you a drawing of a school that I was planning on. I probably will not find that until I move out of this apartment now in a few years. But basically, I sketched out, in this particular building's case, I sketched out an notion of what the front could look like. That I wanted to do that Beaux Arts style. I wanted to draw something. Oh, there's my mouse. I wanted to do the Beaux Arts style, which meant sort of doing the high-pitched roof, the detailed molding on the outside, and the notion that it was kind of going to go into almost thirds. Even though it's 4 floors, the building almost feels like it's in thirds because you almost kind of mentally check off the roof, right? Like, yes, their roof, yes, that's a 4th floor, but in some ways, it's really about 1/3, 2/3 between the dark gray and the white, where you have a separation. So I knew I wanted to have a distinct first floor, but that the second floor, I wanted that to repeat at least once. I wanted to at least do 2 levels above each other that were almost identical, if not identical. And they nearly are so, except for the kind of the angle that comes out for this 4th floor skylight off the hallway. Yeah, so that was extended by plan, but how tall the individual floors were, what was going to go in them, how detailed they're going to go get, that's something I didn't know until I was in the process of building it. And frankly, I had to rebuild a lot of it a number of times because I wasn't always doing it right the first time around. Well, not say right, because it's not like there's a wrong. This is all me making it up. But I discovered that it was not quite as good as it could be along the way. Here's a little look at the inside of the bake shop. And this is something I try to do with all of my buildings is I try to fully furnish the interior. Frankly, this is the most finicky part, sometimes the hardest and slowest part. So it's often the last thing I do. And that's part of why, at least for a start with this show, I'm going to be doing the interiors of some of the buildings that I probably should have finished like a year ago. I just didn't get around to doing it. But you can see it here. So I have like a wedding cake there and a freezer of other cakes. Someone's pulling out more cupcakes to ice, and there's a little icing station. There's the oven. There's a baking station. Someone is rolling out the dough for a croissant with the roller there. And just going to town, making it, baking the awesome. And so you can see that here. I even have here the sort of raw dough, uncooked dough. There's some baked dough that's the brown there. I tried to, I really went all out on this building. It's sort of remarkable going back and looking at it and seeing how much different little bits of detail there are. Little curved counter. Someone's paying for some cookies right there. You can see behind the counter of the cookies on display. Yeah, this is quite elaborate. And so that store is frankly probably one of my favorite ones in this building. But I did do 6 unique apartments as well as the other 2 stores on the first floor. And each of the apartments I tried to give a very unique look and feel and design to. And you can see it here and even see the double thickness of these walls. This was kind of a first for me where I did one color for the exterior and then another color for the interior. I don't usually do it that involved in that sort of that thick of a wall. But I was able to do it with this building, and I'm really happy with how it came out. They are all loft style. There's no closed bedroom. You have to walk around, but there's a little bit of privacy with the wall for the kitchen there. They, of course, all have bathrooms and showers. And there's the elevator right there in the space behind the fake fireplace. And there's a doorway out to the hall. So I tried to give a little soupçon of realism to all of these apartments. So we got the blue apartment, we got the green and dark tan apartment. I like those colors a lot. We got, what else is in here? I think I went vertically up each side of the building, so that's why I was going here. Yeah, this is the dark red apartment that's up in the roof on the fourth floor, behind the little recess windows. There's a little, so you can see they have a little less space on the top floor, a little less space in the halls, but a nice little nook apartment there. And on the other side of the building, on the ground floor, there is a flower shop and a pizza shop with a big brick oven, coal-fired oven. Let's say that. It's a coal-fired brick oven. And here, lots of flowers in the flower shop. And let's see. The hallway you can see from the side. Again, I was kind of really proud with how I did these floors. This is way beyond way more ornate. I probably shouldn't have led this building. It's going to be hard to live up to this building with anything else I build. I should have done this last. So when checking out the flower shop and the front of that, and the good old city pizza, getting the delivery. And this was, I thought, kind of fun because I got to put these neat little unique signs on each building in a unique color for the building itself while still having it feel like it was built into the dark gray base of the building. So I was just really happy with how that came out. I was looking down into the pizza shop. Someone's got a paddle as they pull out some more pizza pies to send out the door. Above that, we had the light green apartments. So there's that one. These are a different shape on the other side of the building. They're a little cramped, a little smaller than the first side. But you still got a couple armchairs around the fireplace. I love these people's dedication in finding matching sheets and fabric for their chairs to their walls. I've never done that myself personally, but I admire these particular Lego residents and their dedication to continuous, solid-looking apartments. There's a little glance down into one of the bathrooms, and you can see the other side of the floor had glass shower doors. Here, I took a little cape from like a Lego Batman and made that a shower curtain in the bathroom there. I think it's a shower tub on this particular one. These apartments do have decks though, so there's advantages to living in a small apartment. You get a little outdoor space. It's got the outdoor space in there. You have the yellow tan apartment above it, a little single bed, of course got a TV, a little seating area, teeny tiny nook kitchen and bathroom. And where was the top? The top floor. Fridge, kitchen, desk, chair, bed. Standard, everyday New York style apartments in that they're super tiny. Yeah, and that's this building. They all still had the balconies going on. The rent, this style of building, it's a shorter building. So maybe it's farther downtown, which means that even though they're tiny, it's going to be crazy expensive. So I'm going to go $3,000. Yeah, thereabouts. At least for the larger ones, maybe a little bit less for the smaller ones. Depends on how old the building is, how well maintained it is. If it's even a rental, maybe it's a co-op. Who knows? I just thought this was kind of cool. There is a ladder up onto the roof from the top of the hallway. You can still, you need roof access. That's important. And I hear you ABSP OW on that, but man, I wish I still paid that. It's another deal. Yes, rooftop parties. I mean, it's not safe, it's not legal, but you're still totally going to do it. You're going to have the rooftop party. And of course, there's fireplaces from all of the collected fireplaces below. So I said they're fake. I lied. Those are real. Those are real fireplaces. They do go up to the roof there. A couple AC units up there. Little vents coming up from the kitchen and the bake shop. So you vent that pretty well. Yeah, there it is. That's still one of my favorite buildings and one of the biggest buildings I've done. And quite proud of it. So after showing all that, what am I going to do now? I'm going to build something so much smaller. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope we go through it, but I am working on what you can see right up here, and that is an Octane gas station, because of course it's Lego, it's Octane. I do have some of the old Lego sets where it was Shell, back when they still did a licensing deal with Shell. That went away a long time ago. Octane is their own Lego made gas company, so they don't need to give any licensing fees, I guess. So I had a whole bunch of different official Octane sets that had a bunch of stickers and different pieces with them. And so I thought, I'm going to put all these to use. I'm going to build a gas station. And, you know, it's proper to have a gas station because I built a bunch of cars last time. I built some gas guzzling cars last time. If you recall, I made these trucks. As Emily described, if you saw the Valkyries just before this, I made a number of these little custom SUVs. And I have the blue one and the green one, which was the original, and the red one. So built all these last week. They ran out of gas already. They need to go somewhere. We're finishing off the gas station. Let's take a look at the gas station. I'm going to, I think, do the mobile cam. Right now is pointing at the town hall. That's a future thing. Again, outside's done. Interior still has a way to go. The park still has a way to go. So that's an aspirational build right there that we'll get that. We'll build that. But right now, pardon the shakiness, I'm going to steal this and use it to pan through the gas station. Wow, that is bright. This is not color adjusting very well. That's okay. Lessons learned, right? Hey, there we go. All right. Just tapping things does wonders. So here's the gas station. I was informed today by my buddy Bill in the Lego group I'm a part of that I am wildly wrong on gas prices. They are more expensive than this. That is fair. I have not owned a car in 12 years, 13 years. So I don't really pay attention to what gas costs anymore. But that's a good note. And if we have time, we can even try to tick these prices up a bit because these are too cheap, as I've learned. But we got the pumps going on. So you can pull up, get the little, I don't know if you can how clearly you can see that, but there's a little pump and the little buttons for the individual colors, and that's a sticker that came from an official set. So I just try to map the colors to my custom sign out here so it can kind of feel like it goes with it. Got some trash cans at either end. Got the little squeegee thingy where you can pull out the little handle and squeegee your windshield. Little attachment back there for a truck to come and fill up the gas tanks underground. When you need to refill your air, that's key. We got a little air sucker over there, and pulling on up to the actual shop, the actual gas station / mini, very, very minimalist garage. Did have a little handicap spot. That's kind of the closest I could figure out how to recreate the handicapped symbol to put on the spot there. And the fourth spot, we do have an Octane Energy electric slot. So you can bring your Tesla here or whatever the other models are and charge up little lightning bolt down there. And of course, get your newspapers and you come around the side. And one of the things I need to finish is getting more of these clear pieces so I can finish off the door to the little tune-up oil change garage. And that's it. And so what we're going to focus on is trying to finish out, or at least come close to finishing out, the interior of the gas station right here. I will just note, and so again, modular, all of it comes apart. And then as usual, I tried to still put styling, even though this is not in view of the customer, there is still trash cans, trash, and of course, recycling. It's important to recycle. And extra bottles of oil, I guess. Sure, we'll go with that. I'm going to attach a light there, a little exterior light. I just didn't do that yet. And you can see, for again, that modular building, there are those, I should probably stick my hand in front of it, but there are those attachment points for where it can connect to other modular buildings. So it's still on that standard. It still all clicks together and connects together. So let's get into it, shall we? Come back up to me for a second, put the phone down. And let's prepare to build. Do a little top-down view. I'm a little bit frustrated with this. I have two stream cams. right here and right here, Logitech Stream Cams. This one, detail up close here, that's all right. But down here, I feel like it's all fuzzy. I don't know why, and I have not been able to successfully adjust the focus to change how it is. So apologies, bear with me. Hopefully it will either get better or I'll just bring things up to you. It won't be too bad, but we'll work through it. We'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to pull these things apart and move them off to the side because they're certainly very shiny. But here's our parking lot. And the pumps. Probably should have cleared a space to put these up before I did this. That's okay. Keeps it fun. And the shop. And so I'm going to turn this close to me because I'm going to start with the shop side. And bloop. Like all things, you want them to be accessible. You want to be able to get inside them. And that's not only fun because you can actually see the details. You can go back and you can see what you did. You can make adjustments to them. But also, I have been getting some very, very tiny light sets. And actually, there's super thin wires that are so thin they can fit between the brick connections. And so you can run wires into your buildings. They have tiny little LED lights that stick to the ceiling. And then they come off the side. You connect them all back to either to a power pack or to a special adapter that plugs into the wall, and you can light up your buildings. So I have a bunch of those packs. I've actually started to light some of my buildings. And when we do big Lego shows, we're able to put that all together and do a whole big lit show. And actually, let me see if real quick I can show you what that looks like. Because I might have a picture from one of our past shows. If you can bear with me. See, this is all a tease. There's not going to even be any building. By the end of this, you're not going to realize that all of a sudden it's going to be over and I won't have built anything. Okay, so this is one of the shows that the Lego group I'm a part of did at the Stanford Museum and Nature Center. And where, again, because it's that modular standard, you can just plop your buildings down and this is someone else's building. That's my building. They can fit right beside each other because we use that same common standard. Even though we never coordinated and didn't know what each other was building. And so we can do, there's one angle, I think this is my favorite angle of it. That's the whole spread, which went through multiple trains, multiple monorails running through everything, and different kind of worlds. So you had a little town here, and then an ice planet thing here, and space, and Wild West, and a dragon over there, and then another town back there. And almost all of this town, like, I'm not saying almost all, maybe half of this town was mine. These are my buildings. So that was, and I had 70 vehicles, I think, in this show. So this is good times, but you can kind of imagine what it was like when the lights are off and the building lights come on. And maybe it wasn't in this show. Somewhere, I swear, I had pictures of one of our sets lit up at night, but I don't know where it is. And I don't want to have you waiting around 97 hours while I try to figure that out. So let's build instead. Cool. Thank you, Jill. I'm glad you guys like that. Check in with the crowd. Everyone doing okay? Everyone hearing okay? This is all okay? How many times can I say okay? I hope so. I'm trying to do a better job of paying attention to chat this time compared to last time. But yeah, let me know if I miss anything. I don't know how you let me know, but let me know. Okay, so interior. What's going on here? So back here we have the little garage, right? This is going to be a little tune-up kind of station. And we have a little doorway back behind where the checkout counter is between the garage and the store side of things, the convenience store side of things. And you can see there's a hole in the wall, and I'll show you why. I'm going to put something in there. This space right here, there's the bathroom, because it wouldn't be real if it didn't have a bathroom. And your fake toy Lego things, oh, there's my arm on the other camera, always have to be real. I think that's just common courtesy, really. Then obviously out here will be the rest of the store. And I had different things in my head about what I would put into the store. Candidly, I kind of ran out of time for some of them. Again, I'd wanted to set aside all the pieces and pre-plan it out. And I kind of ran out of time for it. Hey, John. Yeah, I think I had envisioned it being a more simple exercise for me to figure out what kind of pieces I need to put into the building. Because I always do build on the fly, though, I don't know if I always recognize just how long, how messy, and how much moving around it requires to find all the bits I need to do whatever randomly comes in my head. Actually planning it out in advance, so much tougher than I thought. Especially when I end up having like 2 hours to do it before this show started. So let's see how well I can do. Let's see how well I did, and we'll bear with me, please, for anything I did not get successfully. Let's look at that wall in the back there. So that big, empty, ugly gap. What I'm thinking is I wanted to put a shelf into that wall. A place where you can put some things on a stand to grab as a customer. Maybe there's a couple of high volume things that the clerk needs to get, so this also sticks through onto his side of the little wall there. And then on the other side in the garage, I was thinking a little tool bench where we could put some things. And we could kind of turn that one space of a wall into something that was useful for both sides of the wall. And to that extent, I have some pieces over to my right. I'm gonna roll over there. Let's see how well this goes as I get those pieces and we build them. All right. Whoa, I banged it so hard my camera flipped for a second. Here we go. So let's see if I can remember what the heck I was thinking when I set these pieces out. The idea is almost certainly that one side of the wall, I'm going to have this bench that's on the ground. This is like a garage side of the bench. And this bench stick out farther into the garage, and I have a little wall there, and I'll have little hooks on the wall where you can hang some tools. And then it will keep on going up, but at some point you will encounter a spot where it will have a corkboard hanging on the wall, and that corkboard will have more tools attached to it. So there, this little thingy, and on the other side of it, oh look, it's two shelves. And I can put something in here probably to like kind of hide that tan, because I couldn't find a brown piece that did that, at least not a single piece that did that. But yeah, there's shelf on one side, workbench on the other. And I will now get the board for tools and the tools themselves, and then we'll throw some things on the shelf and we'll plop it into there and make it all work. Sorry, I'm just off screen. I am still here. I just put all the pieces right over here. Thank you for bearing with the silence. Sorry, I'm gone. I was still finding a couple pieces here that I realized I did not have. But okay, I'm back. So I realized I kind of forgot again to set out all the things I wanted to for the shelves, but I think I found some things to improvise on there. So we'll do some knickknacks on the bottom shelf here. Put a little astronaut dude. And we'll put some souvenir. Oh no, you know, we're going to put some cans of soda, because doesn't everyone want a warm can of soda hanging out on the wall? Now these particular little cans are kind of neat. I forget what set they came from, but I found these little tile pieces that actually have like the top of a can on them. So I just popped that onto a cylinder piece and boom, can of soda. So some sodas and a novelty guy. And then let's maybe put some souvenir mugs. I don't know why you buy a souvenir mug at a gas station. Maybe it's a last minute birthday present. It's Mother's Day, you know, coming up, so consider. We'll do a little box of some kind. I don't even know what this is, but we'll make it into something. Boom. Another souvenir mug. And you know what? Another souvenir mug. Boom. Sorry, I kind of forgot. I did that a little bit off frame. I'll do a better job of doing it up here where you can see. But there is our fully stocked brand new shelf with stuff. And now, on the other side, tool bench. So I've got this little bag of tools from some set. I don't know what. Dump those out. Trash. And what I'm thinking is we can attach a bunch of these to the board. I'll use these little gray clips to do that. Let's see, like where... Yeah, I'm just gonna start doing them. We'll figure that out. There's a tool. Yeah, that'll fit there. Do a little tool across the top. That'll probably fit up there, yeah. We can do the tire iron, because I think that's what that is. Again, don't own a car. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that's a tire iron. I used to know those things. There was one point in my life where I knew those things. I don't know them anymore. We'll do a couple more tools over here, side to side, and we'll do another tool up there. And that will probably fit together. And then to make it look kind of corkboardy, I have no idea if this is true, but I'm going to use these little circular tiles to fill in all the spaces in between. I thought that would look okay. Little shout out just on the side to say thank you so much everyone who came. This is so awesome. I really appreciate it. I appreciate bearing with this, especially as I navigate and figure out what the heck I'm doing and what the heck is interesting or good to do. But it's I very much appreciate your presence. And if there are things that you can think of that would be more interesting or would be nice additions or any questions you have along the way, please feel free to let me know right here, right now in the chat, separately, individually. If you know me personally, you probably already know how to reach me. But if not, you can always, you can try on Instagram. Honestly, I don't always catch direct messages there. Unfortunately, a lot do kind of go astray or are a little sometimes nuts. I don't always catch all of them. But one place you can go and one great place to communicate with us is to join the Discord. Join the Transverse Network Discord. There is a builder's block chat right in there. And so that is a great place to reach out, to say hi, to connect. And while you are there, you will discover so many other awesome things and so many other awesome people. Because while I'm here doing this show with me, there are tons of other things. There are 2 other creators so far, potentially likely a third beyond myself who will be on this show. But there's also the Queer and Teen Kitchen. There's also the Transgender Show with great interview series. There is the Valkyries, which was the show before this one, and all new, starting tomorrow, Behind Open Doors, a brand new talk show starting tomorrow, where we talk about other aspects of life, perhaps adult aspects of life that we don't always get to cover, and we can have some open and caring, considerate conversations on that front. So take a look. And yes, Billy does Queer and Teen Kitchen. It is awesome. Thank you, Midvani. And awesome to see you. Glad you're here. Let's see how I'm doing. Did I set out enough spaces for things? Oh, there's a wrench. There's that one. And we'll pop another item up there. It's kind of fit. Oh, there's an extra hammer. Whatever. We don't need to put all the tools on here. We can put that somewhere else. All right, screwdriver. Come on, screwdriver. Jeez. It's kind of on there. Ah, there we go. Cool. So already kind of got something they'll work as our little corkboard on the wall. Got these all the tools little hanging there, ready, accessible for your mechanic to use. And ultimately it will go there. I'm going to put it in first before I clip it on, but you can kind of see where it will go attached to those studs on the back of the workbench. And then down here closer to the bench, we can put some of these bigger tools and clip them onto the wall there. You know, come think, I'll probably put this somewhere else where we'll put the hammer on there. You can, boom, boom. Okay, so put the extraneous hook back there, 3 tiles back. How to get this thing in here. So you can kind of already see I kind of wrenched apart part of the building to pull out the stuff that had been in there to create space for this. And I know there's a weird notch there. That's going to make sense later. There is a reason for that. But I'm going to put this in. We're going to try to put it in from behind. Lift this. Oh, we'll just yank that all up. All right, that'll work. This is getting messy. I can already tell. See, this is a prime example of how I don't plan ahead. Because in an ideal world, you would build this into the building because you would know you want to do it from the start. You would not figure it out a couple hours before the show. But that's what I did, and that's what you have to bear with as I try to figure out how to get this thing in there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, hey, hey. All right, so I still haven't firmly clipped it down because there's something else I'm going to do, but you can see the shelf is now basically kind of in the wall on that side, and on this side is Workbench City. And at the end, I'm going to put the corkboard up, but after I clamp down the pieces above it, because they're pretty messy right now, and it will almost certainly fall back off if I try to do it right now. Let's get the oil can in there. That fell off. Not the easiest to get in there. Again, if you can and do have the patience and the familiarity with the CAD program to use one of the Lego CAD programs, and there are several, like I said, I know right now I can remember L-Draw as one of them. I don't remember the names of the others. But that is a smart thing to do because that makes this process way, way easier versus trying to fit your giant hand into a tiny space and manipulate a little bitty piece into place. After the fact, it is massively harder. I'm not even going to bother anymore. We're going to come back to that later. Okay. So, drop that in there so don't forget. Back to the rest of the store. Boom, boom. Thank you, Mish. You're welcome to bother me should that ever happen in that magical future. Good stuff. Double dry hopped juice bomb Northeastern IPA. Don't mean to be an ad for another company, but I do love Sloop. They're very juicy, fruity beers. Very sweet. I like them a lot. This one's not as sweet because it's double dry hopped, but it's still good. And I needed to, frankly, to remember to drink something this time because I lost my voice last time. Okay. I'm going to do a little shelf along the wall in front of the bathroom. So I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. Yes. So for that, let's bring over those pieces I'd set aside for that. Okay, so this is a random shelf O products. I imagine if you have a gas station, you want to sell some fire extinguishers. Good to have them on hand. Good to have available for customers. Maybe truckers need them. I don't know. But I have some fire extinguishers here available on sale for you, the consumer. I have 2 bottles of random. I don't really know what these are. They're products. They're products of some kind. Then I have these little brown pillars, and so these little 1x1 circular studs are going to be the sides of the shelf. We'll put that on there. I'm going to put these little flat 1x4 plates. If you want to know Lego terminology, this is a plate versus a thicker brick plate, 3 plates to a brick in height. Your Lego 101s right there. But we'll add that on there, so that's like another shelf, and we'll put some more products on the top shelf. And these are cans of something. Whoa. And a yellow can of something. And you know what? I'm guessing they're chips, because these are 2 cans of, what does that say? Pringles. Pringles. I'm sad to say, I think it's Xavier, if I remember correctly. This is a guy that I met, man, probably 6 years ago. Oh, thank you. That's lovely to say. My hands are okay right now. I'll say one thing that's deadly to nails is Lego building, but so far I haven't broken one. Let's hope that stays true for the rest of the stream. But this guy Xavier has these different little custom printed Lego pieces, and I'll show you more that are coming up in a second. And they all are like, they look like Pringles, but they're not Pringles, because that would be copyright infringement. They are Pringles, because brick Pringles. But he has these different little funny products he makes that he sells. And they aren't stickers or something, they're printed on there. So they're very nice, they're very high quality. Cool, so boom, boom, there's a shelf of products. And I'm gonna put those right in here. So when you come into the strap, into the door in the middle, those are to your right there. Yeah, at the end, and again, it shouldn't necessarily be at the end because it's a big pain in the butt to put in a floor after the fact, but it's also really, really hard to take out if you get it wrong. So sometimes I like to put the things in place so I know where they'll go, and then I put in the smooth tiles for the floor, so I don't have to try to figure out how to pull them back out because it's darn near impossible. Again, if you're a planner and you build from the start, so much easier if you put them down first. It's my own fault for building the way I do. And these, even as I'm saying that, I'm like, maybe I should be putting down some of them now. I will put some of them down now because that will be a nightmare later. I have a whole bunch of these dark tan pieces. I thought the floor would be dark tan. So we're going to pour out some of those. And I'm going to put in some floor. We'll start with the corner. I don't know if you can see this. Sorry if you can't see this. I know the angles are tough at times. And it's still something I am figuring out. I'm very open to suggestions on where best to position and place things. For now, the stream cam is actually attached to the stand here. Hey, thank you for following. That's so awesome. I think I know who that is. It's so awesome to have you, and so awesome that you're following. Thank you for that. And not only is it awesome to follow, because you will see this show and me, but again, you will see all those other great things if you're interested on the Transverse Network, because this is more than just this show. It is many shows, and we are excited to keep adding new ones over time. All right, cool. So I'm adding in the floor here. The do is key. You have to sing as you do them. You have to have a song as you're filling in things. That's always important. I use do. It's a little basic, but I like to think it's a traditional. So that's my thinking. All right, so part of the floor down. That'll be a little bit easier to work around later, not having that in the way. And you know what? I'm going to do that for where the employee stands. And I'm going to add a tile here. And these are a different kind of tile. So just like we have these 2x2 smooth tiles, and tile, again, it's the thickness of a plate, but smooth on top, no studs on top, so it's called tile. This does have a stud on top, but it has it centered in the middle. So pretty different, allows for different unique kinds of placement on it. And so I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna attach the guy's leg to it. And that way I can put someone behind the counter, they will stand, but the floor will look as though it's completely smooth. So it's kind of a nice little effect. Put in some more. Oh, and that flipped upside down. That is going to be a nightmare. Okay, not impossible to. You know what? It went in the wrong place, but I'm going to leave it because I'm going to take advantage of that. I know it left a little gap there, but I'm going to put something on that gap, so that's okay. We'll take advantage of that falling into the wrong location there. We'll put in the rest of these tiles. Yeesh. Huh. Yeah. Guess what I should have done a while ago? Take out the whole stand. That's so much easier. All right. All right. Great. That is huge. So that back part of the store is basically done. I am going to pull out this shelf here and let's build a little stand for the cash register and such. I'm going to put that across there. I'm going to put that there. Do I know why? No, I don't. But I have that little thing with the little handle I can attach something to. I'll figure it out later. Something to be interesting on that. I have a little cash register I put together. Little, a couple little buttons there. A little stand with a little screen. That's where the numbers come up, the charge for the customer to see what the cost is of whatever it is that they just purchased. And I'm going to use more of these tan tiles to polish off the top of this. I'm pausing because I'm trying to think what else I want to do on this countertop. Because there's usually tons of things on a gas station convenience store counter, aren't there? I should have probably thought of that before now. What do I want on the counter? I'll do this. We'll just put that there so I can put something on it. We'll figure out what. Put that there. And that there. And that there. And that there. So why do I do this? Why do I do all these little evenly spaced pieces? I'm going to put on their register at a little bit of an angle there. So that's just convenient for the teller. Give them a break. It doesn't have to have everything at a 9-degree angle. We're going to put a couple items on the shelf. We're going to put a dollar bill, or apparently $100. A lot of gas, I guess. We'll put that there. We're also going to put a brick cheese bar. Another one of those things that guy Xavier built. And if I can find his name or something, I'll put that in the Builders Block chat on Discord, because these are really cool, unique pieces. They're not the cheapest, but they're very unique and very high quality. And so if he's still making them, which I'll find out, I will share where you can get them, because I think they're super cool, these little accessories. And I think it's kind of acceptable to do that, even though it's not official Lego. Oh, you're at Noctil? All right. Have a lovely night. Thank you for stopping by. So awesome to have you. All right. So I'm going to put this little brick cheese on there, because maybe he's, or she, whoever's buying the gas, is also going to buy a chocolate bar. And then on these ends, we can put other stands or something, wherever we want on the counter, that will make it feel convenience store-like. So I'm going to put that in there. And I did say I'd do something with that little space over there. What should I do? I'm going to put something on it. I'm going to put... There's no answer. I just say I'm going to put and then I leave. I'm just gone from that point on. No, I'm going to find something. In a second. All right, I made a little angled shelf. And I'm going to put that shelf in there. Oh, it's a little bit short. I didn't think about that. Ah. We're going to grab a random little stud. Pop down the bottom. Oh, were you reacting to my back pillow, Mish? So. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Is that Brian? Sorry, I'm not immediately recognizing your name. I think I know who that is, but yes, I think it is the Eclipse Graphics. That sounds right. But good memory. But yes, this is my trans pillow, which I use as my back pillow. And then I have another one. It is Brian. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, Brian. I appreciate it. And thank you for saying Eclipse Graphics. So there you go, everyone. There's the answer to these random printed bricks I'm showing. A member of my Lego user group, Brian, knows the answer, and it is Eclipse Graphics. And it's not all rude. You knock yourselves out to have that conversation. It's really cool. I just want to make sure I was following. You weren't talking to me. But you're always welcome to talk. What was it? Oh. Since you talked about the trans pillow, oh, geez, bumped the camera again. This is my Progress Pride pillow as well. So I have two of them, but this one I kind of use more as like a display thing than I actually actively use as a pillow. So I just wanted to show those two things off. All right, cool. So we did the guy's little shelf in there, the guy's little space in there, and I have several more places I can put things in his little nook, but I'll still work on it. We'll come back to that. Above it, I wanted to put a little kind of rack over the shelf. You go into some gas stations and there's sort of like a display, like it's a construction above the counter. It's not just open up to the ceiling. There's a little line, and so I was thinking that's something I would add in here as well. And that's part of why there's still a gap in the wall over here too, is so I could put in part of that structure and have it be attached to the wall, have it be fixed in place so it wouldn't dangle or come loose. And so now I can actually finally lock in this far wall now that I've put that in there. And so, I hate how like fuzzy this is. We'll work on that. But there you can kind of see in the intense brightness that connection now sticking out over the counter. And back on this side, things are a little bit more locked into place, so I can take this board and clip it on. Boom. And there it is. Tool bench all set inside the store. All right. So back over here, finishing in the space around the teller. And I'm going to put the little dude in there. I have someone in here in an Octane uniform. He's probably more properly the mechanic. I have more Octane figures. I just couldn't find them right now. So we'll just put him behind the counter for right now. He's doing double duty. Maybe someone else taking a break. So the mechanic had to come in and mind the store. Man. That's more awkward a place than I thought. But see, there he is. And he's going to stay there because his foot is connected to the floor, even though it doesn't necessarily look like he's attached to the floor. So a little bit of magic there for you to know how to do that. Yes, Brian, they can also be used for pillow fights. I have not done that yet because it is just me. But maybe in the future there will be a pillow fight with both the trans and pride pillows. Okay, so let's finish out the rest of this little top banner thingy. So that goes there. That's why I had that little gap in the bathroom wall, so I could extend this line over here. And I'm going to put on some more tiles. I'm sorry, not tiles. We're going to put on these plates to kind of hold it all together and make it a little bit more structurally sound. So doing that. doing that. Pop that up there. I also am going to put in some security cameras. And so I got, these are little 3 pieces to my security cameras. I have this little plate here with the extended sort of hinge almost, a little pipe off here on the side. I have this little teeny tiny hook, which I stuck into the hole on the side of this camera looking thing. So I could clip it on there and angle it as I want to. So we can have a camera on those people coming in and out of the store. So we can keep an eye on those shifty customers. And then we can put another camera back here, pointed right down at the till, because you got to watch that shrinkage with with the staff. Don't want them ripping off your gas station. Sad commentary on our world that they have to be monitored. I'll then add these little pieces up here. And these pieces I'm adding here have studs sticking out of them on the side. And that's so I can kind of use them as signs. I can put some things on them. That's what I plan to do. And boom. There we go. And so I can do things like this. I can take some newspapers. People come in, you can see what newspapers are available on sale that day, and have them up top, so people can catch them as they come in. And then maybe there's some ads, or some local stores, or an upcoming movie with the Ghostbusters or Brickbusters. You can stick that up on there, show off that, and come around the side, put up some more little ads. I'm not sure if this last one's going to go on, because I just kind of realized, because of that shelf, it's probably not going to fit. No, it's not going to fit. That's okay. We'll just use a little filler angled tile. Man, I got to be careful not to bump this. That camera is very sensitive. But there, so you can kind of see wrapped around is a little display of things for someone coming into the store. I have some other tiles here I can put on top to give it a little more polished look above there. Oh, you know what? We're going to put a newspaper back here so you can grab them and give them out to the customers when they come in to buy them. I'm going to act like that was the plan all along. All right, I'm not going to fully attach this because you can see where I want to kind of attach to something else over here. Okay. So what is missing here? What to do next? I'm going to pause. I'm going to sip. My throat is a little bit dry. That's okay. I want to check back in. How y'all doing with this? Are you hanging in there? Is this okay? Is it hopefully of some interest? I'm sorry, that sounded like needy. I don't mean to beg for it. This is fun for me to do. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I guess I just want to check in, say hi, and before digging into the rest. So who's still here? Who's still hanging around? Let's bring my mouse back over to monitor number 4. Thank you, Meet. I am very glad that you are interested, and it's awesome to have you. I have a little users in chat thing. Oh, there we go. I had to refresh it. Let's just see who's in here, because I know not everyone, didn't catch everyone before, but it's so awesome. Oh, awesome. It's great to see you all here. Thank you so much again for coming and for sticking around and bearing with this and my scratchy voice as I go on. But it's so wonderful to have you here and to participate. Hey, Ashley, I see you in there. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone who came. As I run along, what am I thinking of? I had a question I was going to ask, and now I can't remember what it is. But see, you do have the imagination. I bet you do. I think this is, and thank you for saying that. Is it Danik? Oh, hey, Katie. Hi there. Glad you're here, too. So glad you're here. This is awesome to have you come in. Thank you. But I think it's Danik, and correct me if I'm saying that wrong or not following or not remembering, for that matter, how to refer to you. But it is, it's nice to see you, Katie. Ooh, I'm going to come back to that one. Oh, Danny. Awesome. Thank you, Danny. I think with doing this for myself, I would envision huge, amazing things. I'm like, if I could build anything I wanted, I always imagined building things that were way past the realm of possibility, just in the costs and effort to get the bricks, let alone the time and effort and space it would take to assemble them all. I would imagine like a full skyscraper and every floor kitted out, or a full battleship, or and other. I've seen other people do those kinds of things. It's amazing. It takes years and thousands of dollars and special access often to Lego to get that many brick, or to spend that much more to get it from third-party sellers. It's tough to build at that scale. And when Lego came out with the modular scale, it was kind of transformative because it was a standard that I knew I could build to, that was in my realm, I was capable of doing. And so suddenly something that was seemed a creative impossibility was suddenly like, oh, I can just follow those basic standards and build at that. And I can figure that out. Made it so much easier and so much more possible. And then it just becomes a question of, well, what kind of buildings are in a town? And you kind of go down almost a list of like what's a building, and then I'll build one of those. My very first building was a bank, and I made it. Oh, that's right. I'm on the wrong screen. Move my mouse over to monitor 4. Right down here, modular Lego bank, and this sucker. Again, it was just sort of like, what's in a town? Oh, a bank was in a town, so I built a bank. It's not wanting to click open for me. What's going on? I see it like thinking. It's just not opening. That's annoying. All right, new tab worked. There we go. But yeah, I went through my hometown back in PA, and you find all these old banks or even buildings that are now something else, but used to be a bank, and a lot of them had this style, this enormous archway style to it. And so knowing, all right, the sidewalk is this big, the building's going to be this big because it has to fit to a base plate, all of a sudden, or a base plate and a half, it became a much easier thing to imagine building. And I was able to dive into it and even this first building, I didn't tile the whole floor. I didn't necessarily go to that full extent I did with other buildings that I would do later. But even just thinking, all right, what's in the bank? And like, oh, well, there's a place where you have the customer service reps selling, upselling people on new accounts. And there's a vault, and there's a teller line. And so doing each one of those things, suddenly here's the vault, some gold, because apparently you have gold in this small town bank. There's a teller line. It became a much more possible thing once I broke it down into those small individual elements. So I know you say it's hard to imagine the creativity, but frankly, once you have a starting point, a lot of it becomes a lot more realistic than you might have thought otherwise. And so I just say that because I didn't think it was possible I was going to be able to do it. And once I had this kind of framework to work from, it became a lot easier and a lot more possible. And you don't have to go as big as some of these things that I'm doing are. The simplest standard is to do something that is this size. This is a half base plate. And just doing a short little sidewalk and a simple little building, you can start very small and get a sense of what it is to do a modular building. And frankly, I find buildings easier than cars and other things because it's a rectangle usually. It's not too terrible and not too hard to build, I think. I started getting back into building, back into regular building and modular buildings. I want to say maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm about to say it. I'm pretty sure I have a timestamp on that building. Let's see if I say here. No, I don't say it in there. That would be too easy if it said when I did it. It was taken in 2013. So there you go. My Flickr is actually, just to make it simple, it's accessible off of just482.com. Right up here, all my social accounts. And so my Flickr account is right in there, right off of just482.com. So easy to get to. If you go to my website, you can always find it there. So thank you, Brian. A good question, a nice leading question for everyone else. I appreciate the opportunity to market. Not that I'm selling anything, but you can, to sell myself, I guess, so you can see what I'm creating. But yeah, so 2013 is when I built that modular building. I never really stopped building necessarily. I would still buy sets and build official sets, but custom building, that got started again back in 2013. And I think I'm up to 35 buildings and probably 80 vehicles at this point of custom things I built. and made. And as well as a few other random things like a sailing ship. It's up, you can't see, but I'm pointing at it. It's sailing ship, some spaceships, a couple other things, but most of my stuff is in the town. And this is true for a lot of people, that often what you built as a kid is what you continue to do later. I was all about the town, and so I'm still all about the town and doing all those things. You can make me an evening gown, Midvani. How did this not come up in any of our prior conversations? I'm going to need to know more about that. You can be our fourth builder. You can build evening gowns. That is awesome. See, I can't do that. That is definitely outside my purview and capability. Okay. Man, oops, sorry. Loud exclamation, but already I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice, but we'll get back into it. Okay, I am going to build, but as I dive back in, I just really do want to say thank you for coming. I very much appreciate you. You're awesome, and this is awesome. I enjoy this opportunity to talk with you and to share with you, and I'm very thankful for everyone who stopped by, and I hope you are willing to stop by in the future, and not just for me, but for all the other people on Builder's Block and the Transverse Network. Back to the build. Okay, right? I was saving that one. Extreme close up. Let's do the bathroom. Because, is there one thing that any of us use more at a gas station? I don't think so. It's you're going in there, you try to maybe pretend to browse for a second, and then you run into the bathroom, because that's really why you stopped. So for the bathroom, I have a few things. I don't know, honestly, if I have enough, but we'll see. Well, I'll see if I can construct it. But I have a couple little things I'd set aside here, and they are this little kind of smooth edge thing, and it's these little angled tile thingies. I forget what they're called, and feel free, Brian, on this one to do that. But yeah, these pieces are kind of like the rim of the sink, right? This inset space, and the other corners are going to be against the wall, so it's going to form a seal. So it's like it's an inset sink, and then a faucet to go into the wall, and a toilet with a bowl and the seat. It will form a toilet. So got that little deal. And we want a smooth tile for the top of the tank. And I want to set that into the wall somewhere. And I want to set the faucet into the wall somewhere. So now the big question is, did I actually set aside enough pieces to rebuild a section of the wall? And will I be able to pull the wall out without completely destroying the entire building? I don't know. We're going to find out. Man, I really don't know. This is going to be interesting. All right, we're going to take the thing we just built right back off again. And I'm going to try to kind of lever up this slightly, because really all I want to do is get this single piece. So I use a lot of these really big pieces because they can let you cover a lot of ground very quickly. The problem is that they are one giant solid piece, so it does take some effort to recreate them when you're doing it with individual bricks. So let's see. Wow, this thing is on here tight. Again, the advantages of planning ahead. They are very clean, but I like to think that this is like near corporate headquarters, so they have to keep this gas station clean. Otherwise, it would be a normal gas station dirty. That was so true. I lived in Dublin, Ohio for a while, which is where Wendy's is headquartered. And I remember for a while that Wendy's was nasty, and then I think some executives went there, and they were kind of appalled that the closest Wendy's to Wendy's headquarters was so nasty. And that thing was spick and span from that point on. So get the right people in there, they'll do it upright. Okay, so I managed to yank out this giant piece. So now I got to recreate this piece, including the things I'm going to stick into the wall, like the shelf for the sink and the toilet. All right. I'm not going to claim it's all going to make sense or be perfect, but it'll be good enough. Right, that's what we're going for, right? Good enough? I think so. The attendant needs a mask now. They probably do. I wonder if there are Lego figures with masks on them. Like there probably are. I can put a scarf on them and kind of do it. I don't know if they're printed on masks. That's an interesting question. I don't know if they go there. Just because it would, by the time they start printing them, I don't know if they would still be available for sale. Interesting question. Doctors, yes, that's a good call. That's a good call. There are the doctor sets. Thank you. Brian, see, this is why you are key to here, because you can fill in all the things I could pretend to know about Lego by you actually knowing it. Right, or of course, Clips Graphics, another plug. I do not have any ties or financial ties to it, just a happy customer. All right, while we're at this, I'm going to put some smooth tiles in, and hopefully you can still see this, into the base of the bathroom while I have the wall off, so it's going to be way easier to reach inside there. We are going to use these little pieces. I don't know what says the floor of the bathroom is the same as the rest of the store, but we're going to just go with it because that's what I have readily available. Sorry I keep doing this. My nose is itchy. Keeps. Will that work? How do I want to do this? This is going to go here. So let's do that tile there. Pardon the silence as I mull what I want to do here. Do that up against the wall. Ooh, you know what I can do? Let's break this apart. I'm going to already build it into the wall. Make it even more stable. And sorry, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Kind of forget. What you can see is not the same as what I can see. Oh, and that is entirely backwards. Ha! There. So, what I just put in there was a little shelf, a little sink there, up against the wall. And, you know, imagine that there's a mirror on the wall. I'm not gonna bother with that. Yeah, so let's fill in some more of this. We're going to put in some more tiles. Now, one of these things will be how to put in la toilette. Because the bowl is going to stick into the floor, and then this is going to go into the wall and kind of hover above it. So I have to make sure I do everything at the right spacing and the right height. That'll go up there. Yeah. Yeah. Again, muttering to yourself like you're crazy, key part of the building process. No! All right, where's... I dropped a piece and it like clicked all the way down onto the base. And this is why I sometimes do the floor later, because it's such a pain if you get something in the wrong spot to get it back up again. Oh man, that thing is in there. Hey. So that thing you just saw me use to do that magic is a brick separator. And some people are like, I've never seen that before. That's amazing. That's novel. That's so unique. And you know what? It's not unique because almost every Lego set has them. So let me show you this. It's not every Lego set, but it's a lot of Lego sets at a certain size. So this is almost all of my Lego separators. There are more. This was at the top of my Lego closet. I bumped it. It fell. They went everywhere. So this is about 2/3, 3/4 of what I was able to find on the floor and pick back up and put back into the basket. So I will be finding more of these in other bins for years. But there are many, many separators out there. If you need a separator, let me know. I got tons. Right, I was building the floor of the bathroom. So we will try to layer in another piece. We will... I need another jumper. Sorry, I don't know what you're seeing on the camera as I stand up, as I bump the camera again. But just like I talked about that one, man, this is so sensitive. All right. Just like I talked about that one tile, that 2x2 tile that had a stud in the middle. This is a little jumper that has it right in the middle again, but not 2x2, it's 1x2. So that's kind of fun. You can use it as a block. It technically does connect, but just at some unique points. Like it connects basically just at this end. You can clip things onto the bottom and top of it. So some people have done that, and in Technic pieces, you know, that little stud goes, not stud, but that little prong goes into some Technic pieces that are designed for it. So because it's used to push Technic pieces out, pins out, they get stuck into a piece. So some people have done some clever things with them to turn them into artwork, especially because you end up with so many extras if you buy lots of sets. So I have not done that myself, but I've seen other people do some really cool things with the individual separators. So good question. I was still building the bathroom. I am taking forever on this bathroom. What did I think? I do want this, a 1x1. I have only a few of these 1x1 tiles, but I'm going to squeeze one into the corner there in the bathroom. I'm going to, there we go. So you can kind of see from another angle what I'm doing there. I have this little jumper that I'm going to put there. I'm going to put one more tile there. Now the floor of the bathroom is done. And the reason I put this jumper here and this other one in the corner is for two little pieces. I'm going to put a trash can in the bathroom. This is the same style the trash cans are outside the gas station. So they're all little Octane themed trash cans. So I'm going to put that in the corner there of the banyo. And because that stud's there, I can kind of stick it out from the wall a little bit, make it look a little bit more random, which I think makes it, again, a little bit more unique and a little bit more real. And I'm going to put the bowl of the toilet on this one. Boom, there it goes. And now I can figure out what height I need to put this so it will rest nicely over top of that bowl and the toilet will be done. Cool, so let's go ahead. We're gonna put this wall back in that I yanked out there. And come back around here. Put some pieces back into this wall. Now, because that's kind of hidden out of sight, I found I was running out of 1x2 plates, white plates. So I'm going to use some tan ones and cheat. Don't tell anyone. They're going to be behind the counter, but they're going to be behind the bathroom wall. People won't see them, I swear. So, but you can't tell anyone that's there. That's a secret. I think that's the right height. We'll put there. But again, like I said before, 3 plates makes a brick. So that's the height of 1 brick by putting those together. And so I can clip them into the wall there. And ta-da! There it is. The toilet is now assembled and in the bathroom. We'll put this up there. On top of that, fill in more of the wall. We're going to take this little bit, which had the faucet sticking into one of the bricks with a stud on the side. Wow, that's bright. There's that. There. Can't quite remember what pieces were like needed for the top of this, so I don't think I want to use that yet. Put this back in. Put the whole rest of the counter back in. There we go. And let's see what else I can build up here. That. So here is an awkward discovery. I do not have more of the white pieces pulled out, but I have so many more white pieces to dive through, so this part might get loud. Get ready. Here is some of my white brick. It's a fraction of them. And what I'm doing right here, sorting my color, it's pretty and it's stupid. It is so hard to find things. It takes a while. The small things always fall to the bottom. It is far better to sort by element, but I did not plan ahead when I was doing this years ago. And so I have them by brick, by color, and it can take forever. But luckily, I'm already finding some of what I need. Goodness. Whew. Luckily, amazingly, I think I found what I needed. Man, this camera is sensitive. I'm gonna need to watch out for that. All right. Boom. And now the tricky part of getting this back underneath that little part we had to pry up before, stuck into the wall. Man. This is really tight. Wow. Guess it's a sign of how solid my construction is, that this is nigh on impossible to pull apart. Oh. This is not easy. Oh, there we go. Ha. Whew. All right. Mission reaccomplished. Kind of, sort of, almost. I already can see I forgot one piece, but that's okay. I'm going to find some pieces here. Boom. Boom. Put back in the camera. Ah. Look at that. We have a finished furnished bathroom right there, all set, ready to go. Now I still have a little bit more on the ceiling here to make that smooth and contiguous. We're going to put some little plates in to fill in that gap. What do I have readily available? All right. There we go. All right, now one thing I'm going to note as I do this, so I have made this opening right? This little roof. I'm sure when you go to the bathroom, shoot, I dropped a piece, but I can't find it. I'm sure when you go to the bathroom, you don't want to have open ceiling over to the rest of the store. So what I'm thinking is, this is 6 studs wide. So this roof is 6 by 6. It almost finishes it, but you can see it's a little too narrow. This is actually 7 studs wide to the wall. So I'm going to put an angled plate like this that has a little corner on it right there. And so now, boom, sits right on top. Nice and tidy. And I just need some more tiles to finish off the roof. Man, stuff is flying everywhere. All right. There are so many little tiles. There we go. 1 by 1 tile. Dropping more tiles while I'm at this. I'm going to find so many tiles, so many pieces of Legos tomorrow. But there, I could do that. I could do that. I think ideally I don't want black here. This feels a little random. I probably want white or some other kind of color there, but I need to spend some more time looking for it. And it still has the potential to fall off. So we'll see if that's maybe, if more work is needed for this, which is possible that there is. But I'm almost there. I'm basically there to close out the bathroom. Move the camera back up. But what's going on with the rest of the store? So I'm conscious that we're closer to the end. We're not at the end, but we're closer to the end. So maybe instead of focusing on more of the floor, I'm going to build another thing that's going to go into this far corner here, and that is a little snack station. And frankly, it's just as well. I have some things for the garage. I had a lot more that I hadn't figured out for the garage. So yes, when I step on them tomorrow, I can find the pieces and figure out which one of them goes back into a drawer and which ones go into the garage. But it's probably just as well. We'll finish the convenience side tonight. I don't know if we'll do the garage next time, or we'll probably more likely move on to a completely other building. Keep it a little bit more interesting. But for now, I'm going to figure out one of this stuff. The separators are actually slightly, I think this is true. You can validate me on this, Brian, if you're still here. But they seem to be slightly looser, so they can help hold on to a piece, but they don't necessarily stick to them. Oh, well, it comes up vertically easier than I find other bricks to do so. So I think they might have a slightly different millimeter sizing versus the high precision you see from all other Lego pieces, so that they can be always a part of the solution and not a part of the problem as you pull these things apart. Get a third separator. It's an excellent point. But you know, so we can see where we got 1, 2, we do 4. You know what? I think they can just keep going. Yeah, these suckers can kind of go forever. I've seen people build spaceships out of these, all kinds of different crazy things. But they still come apart super easy. So it's not impossible if they get stuck together. There's hope, I guess is what I'm saying. There's hope. All right. That is a tragedy, Mish. We need to fix that. Everyone should always have many Legos in their apartment. Okay, so there are 2 other things, 2 little attachments for the rest of the store I was going to build. We'll start with the smaller and cuter one. Which actually uses more of the Eclipse graphics items. I've had these things for years. I just never used them. But I have a, what does that say? Minifig Newton. Minifig Newton for sale there. Some Brick Cheese Craggle. I don't know why you'd want to eat Craggle, but there it is. A Mr. Goodbrick. And bricks. Pretty straightforward on that one. All right. My thinking is there'll be a little candy bar shelf right up at the display when you come into the store. So I have, first of all, I have this little angled bit, clips in and lets you put things at a specific angle. One Lego Batman set. Well, that's still a pretty solid set, Mish. That's not too shabby as only one sets go. I'm gonna put another one of these little angle things. It's like the bottom of a little shelf here. Put this gray thing as a stand, and then at an angle, boom, you have like a little angled display shelf. And what I'm gonna put on this shelf is more of these little jumper pieces, but attached to them are going to be, offset from them, these pieces I just showed you. And so it's almost like they are in a stack of the products. And these are just the ones in front, and you can pull out more from behind. It's not perfect, but it kind of gives you a little idea. And so now it's like I have a whole bunch of these, and you can just grab the ones in front, and there's more behind, more available for sale. And so this kind of thing I can put right here, right at checkout. Be sure to get yours before going. Cool. I think that'll work. I think that's a decent place for it. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. I might move it if there's not enough room there. Okay, so got our candy bars now. We want to do something in, trying to figure out how to do this for the camera. This corner, right up here. So. What do you have in gas stations? Well, you probably have some kind of food all set to go from the get-go. And to that end, in a lot of stereotypes of convenience stores, that food and that drink to get-go is a fountain soda and maybe a hot dog. Now, there's also slushies. I thought about doing a slushie, but then I pulled back from that because this isn't a 7-Eleven, and I don't want to, take away from what I really personally associate with the 7-Eleven. So I did not do a slushie machine. I'm doing a soda fountain here instead. So this is going to be a hot dog stand / soda fountain stand. And to make it happen, I did a couple of things. I have this sort of base, this little wooden cabinet. And then sticking on the side here, I did this little angled plate. And I'm going to take off that one, find one that doesn't have a hole in the middle of it. My thinking is, what you're seeing with this, geez, I am dropping pieces everywhere. I'm thinking what you're seeing with this angled plate is you're seeing the ends of the cups that you can pull out from that shelf, from that display, right? That's, I think, and then I was thinking these little black things, maybe the ends of the tongs that you would grab and pull out of a holder to grab a hot dog. And the buns are probably in like a cabinet underneath here. And I'm going to put on top of it this, and I'm realizing I probably want to make this taller, so I'm probably going to go look for some other pieces to make this taller, but I'll do that a little bit later. There, and so I have a little smooth portion and then parts with studs on them, and that's because I'm going to put things on top of these parts of it, and then this is a smooth part of the shelf that's showing. But here's our base, or at least most of our base. And now, I'll get some more things. Okie dokie. I'm back again. So on the left side of here, we're going to have a little tray where the hot dogs are heated. Now I imagine there's probably supposed to be some kind of glass shield over top of this. I didn't really think it through. I didn't really feel like it. I was got to be the last man of this. So we're not going to do a shield. These are just out in the open. This is a bravery hot dog. You just have to decide how badly do you want it. And that's the answer to whether or not they're safe to pick up. And so we're going to clip in these hot dogs, which are so hot they're curling up from the surface, I guess. I don't really know. Maybe I can try to make them lay flat. Can I? That looks a little ridiculous. No, they really curve. That's not going to work very well. Yeah, whatever. This will be... It's part of the adventure, right? You get the idea, I think. There's some hot dogs on the little roller grill thingies, keeping them hot, going back and forth. And beside it, we're going to do our soda fountain, where you pull out those cups and fill up your soda. So I have a little tray to catch the extra drops the customers do when they overfill and they spill it all out and they go again. We're going to do a little downspout. We'll do 3 spouts. They probably should be higher, but that's the tragedy of not trying to build this beforehand and doing it now. We will then do this above it. And this smooth thing on top. And I got these 3 little colored plates. And my thinking is, let me straighten these out a little bit. These are like, what is that? What is each soda? So here's your orange soda. There's your lemon lime soda. And then there's your cola. Or your water. I don't know. I think it kind of works. Right? Basically, roughly. Here's some finished hot dogs. Maybe I'll put one in a customer's hand or two. They bought some hot dogs, bought some gas station hot dogs. And another trash can. So, let me think about this. Putting it up here in this corner. I think I want it to be a little bit taller. I'm realizing set into the floor, this is going to be a very low counter. So let me find some brown pieces. Here we go. Oh, and someone commented earlier, I kind of forgot until right now, but I do love this necklace. This is an awesome little necklace I got. This is, I think I got it off of Etsy, and it's actually a little, it's acrylic with circuit board pieces inside. So it's kind of neat. It's a very different little piece, these little kind of electrical connections. Even the top is actually, I think, a diode. Might not be diode. I'm blanking on what. I used to know this. I don't remember what it is. But it is a cool recreation of a minifigure, to scale of a minifigure, but made out of computer parts set in acrylic. So it's kind of a neat little piece I got off of Etsy. Which I think I found through an Instagram ad, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, so we have one of my many bags of brown brick. And let's see if I have what I need in here. I already... Oh, well, maybe I do. Alright, we're going to put that in the middle. Make this a little bit stronger. Jeez, they're all 1x4s. I have a lot of variety here. Alright. I think I can figure this out. Watch, I'm going to do this and it's going to be too tall. Oh, we're nearing the end. This is a good thing probably to wrap it up with then. Ta-da! Bum, 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 bum. 2 songs. So right there in the corner, our hot dog / drink station. just to the side when you come into the store. And we'll put the trash can beside it, and it will be, yes, it will be perfect. This is coming out dandy is what it is. It's coming out dandy, because that's a phrase that people use. One little piece I just saw off to the side here that I forgot about. So I had this little hook right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little teeny tiny hook right there on the side. And the reason that is there is I kind of put together this little thing, and it's TV. You got some soccer going on there, and then a little post and a little angled hook going on. And that hook is going to go onto that little hole in or that little prong in the corner, and there at an angle, viewable for the customer and the gentleman at the counter can see the TV. So not entirely bored while I was all there all day long. So, got our TV, we got our shelf of random supplies, we got another shelf of random supplies in the back corner there. We got a bathroom, we got our candy bars, and we got our counter with our different little advertisements around it. This is pretty solid. This is pretty solid. Here, we're gonna put a hot dog on the counter. That's the other thing he's buying. Guy's checking out with the hot dog. Jeez. Come on, come on. Oh, it's so close. It's so careful. Ha, there we go. Hot dog on the counter. So I need something to put on that counter. I need to put on more things on the floor. I do need to figure out, I feel like this is a little crowded with the candy bars. I'm going to move it. Jeez, it's stuck on the floor. I'm going to put it in front of the windows over here. Yeah, it's a little, I guess it's better. Close enough, right? Sorry, Kate, I just see what you're saying there. That's awesome. And thank you for hanging around, Emily, and for doing what you always do and making all this a reality, and of course moderating. I feel like this I accomplished more than I expected, especially given my very last minute preparations for it all, that hopefully this was decent enough and enough of something to give you an idea of what I do. And I think in the future, in addition to me learning how to better prepare for these things, sorry, I'm trying to talk and put down a trash can, which is a bad combination of activities. But in addition to being prepared, I think personally, one of the things I find more enjoyable and a little bit more exciting is sometimes when I'm building the exterior of the buildings. That's the things that, because you see most often, I personally get a little bit more excited to see come together. It feels a little bit more solid. The internals is the polish. I think it's the part that makes it all feel like I did right by the building, but it's definitely the part that's the slowest and requires the most thought for me. That's sometimes the hardest to come up with on the fly. So thank you for bearing with what for me is sometimes the less exciting part of this, but it makes it more enjoyable for me to do it with you watching, and it kind of keeps me accountable to actually finish off these buildings. In addition to now finish out the garage portion of the gas station, I have a sushi restaurant I need to finish with a couple apartments above it, and a bar I need to finish with some apartments above that, and the town hall. And I personally am like, I'm going to finish these buildings before I let myself build any new buildings, because I don't need to have even more things lined up to finish in this apartment. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you saying that, but I so much appreciate you coming and taking the time to watch and to attend. It's nice to see these worlds colliding in ways that I could certainly hope would come together, but didn't necessarily always expect. And so it's genuinely nice to have you here as someone from as a person who knew me other than this. It's great to have you here. And thank you all for coming. Thank you, Danny. This has been wonderful, as always, to do this and to chat with you and to get to share a little peek into one of my many, many nerdy hobbies. And I hope you'll come back. I hope we can continue doing this and continue sharing this. It'll be a month, I believe, until I'm on again. That we'll of course see if anything changes, though I am going on vacation, so I'm going to miss working next week and then on vacation the week after that. But even though I'm not here, other people will be, and that is why it's important to return. So I believe I'm going to start also appearing on the Valkyries, which is the show that appears before this. I got a lovely invitation from Emily and others to do that. I would have done it tonight, but I really was assembling pieces up until the last minute, so I didn't end up getting to do that. But I hope to do that more often, at least when I'm not building afterwards, that I can more freely show on that and get my butt whooped in Fortnite while the others, carry me through to the end. And also the places when we hopefully will just also chat and talk and get to connect with each other and talk about things. But beyond that show, beyond Valkyries and beyond Builder's Block, as I mentioned before, there are more things on the Transverse Network. And the flagship show, the original show, will be returning at its usual time next week on Tuesday, which is the transgender show. I believe that's true. Correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but you'll see Emily interview some other awesome person, which is what almost always happens. Thank you, Mish. I will say that on Mondays, there is Queer and Teen Kitchen with Billy, where she interviews someone while they both cook in their respective homes. I know Billy is moving, so I forget if there's any kind of gap in that show, but it's usually on Mondays, and hopefully we'll be lucky enough to be enchanted by her presence next week. And if not, it will come back, so stay tuned for sure. But one of the cool things, again, that I mentioned earlier that's happening brand new is a brand new show, which launches tomorrow with Jeannie, Behind Open Doors. And so I hope you'll be willing to continue to check us out and see what this is all about. And let me also say, that's good to know. Billy's going to be cooking from her parents' house, so it still will be a show. Thank you, Midvani, for saying that, and thank you, Mish. And thank you, Hamis. This is so awesome. Thank you all for coming. I'll say that new show is tomorrow, and that's great. And if you do follow, you will get notifications about those, so that's wonderful. Should you choose to subscribe, whether that's because you're generous or you're using your Prime subscription, which if you are a Prime member, you get one free subscription every month that you can feel free to throw here. But the cool part about doing that, thank you, Kirby, is that when we get to 150 subscribers, there will be a giveaway, and the giveaway is one of the custom droids that Emily makes on her segment of the Builder's Block, which is an amazing, very cool Star Wars bit of customized memorabilia. And so if you tune into her episodes of Builder's Block, you'll get to see it. And if you subscribe, you might get a chance to win it. And so at that moment, it will be available to be raffled off. So all the more reason to subscribe or find others who do so. But even if you don't, it is still always so awesome for all of you that come. And I thank you so much. And I look forward to doing this again with you. Until then, all the best. I'm going to do a little coming up screen. But again, remember, it's not just these two shows. It's the other shows I didn't get a chance to add in. It is the transgender show. It is Builder's Block. But it is also Queer and Teen Kitchen and Valkyries and Behind Open Doors. So please be sure to check them out. And until next time, this has been the Builder's Block. I am, and will continue to be Jess. You will continue to be awesome. And together, we will continue to build some great things. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Bye, all.